Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday, the 10th of November 2019. I'm using the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. I was really impressed the last time I used this deck, so I want to use it again. Let's give them a shuffle. So if this is the first one of my videos you're watching, you're very welcome. What I do here is I do these every day and I simply tune into the day's energy. And I ask the cards what the day is about and how we can get the most out of it. The cards then give us an answer. Sometimes it's morning, afternoon, evening, but to be honest, that's really rare. It usually just gives us an overview of what is going on. So let's have a look-see at what is going on Sunday, the 10th of November. So first of all, we have the sun. That's a super positive sign. The sun is the most positive thing in our solar system. Without it, none of us would exist. Then we have a gift from the universe, Ace of Swords, a royal idea in the sense that it's a brilliant idea. That's what the crown symbolizes, that it's genius. And then the final card, is the Hangman in reverse, upright. Awesome. All right. The sun is the 19th card of the major arcana. It's very near the end. You've got 21 cards in the major arcana, and the 21 cards are the Fool's journey. So the Fool starts on his journey having really no clue of what's going on. That's why he's, falling down an abyss. Then we've got the Magician. We realize that if we want to create, or we are created by the union of the universe with the physical, we come into the world. Then the High Priestess is about being connected with that, regardless of, that's like your astral, when you astral project, you have that silver string connecting you to your body so you can never get lost. It's like your navel, your belly button, it's like your umbilical cord to your past lifetimes. Third card is the Empress. That you meet your mother, you meet your father, the emperor, you start to be socialized, the Hierophant, all of those things. And by the time you get to the sun, you've been through most things in life. You've been through deaths, you've been through bankruptcies and weddings and divorces, and you're still standing. So by the time you get to the sun, you realize that you have a lot of power inside of you. And not only have you got a lot of power, you usually, in the tarot, the sun has a little kid on a horse that's kind of celebrating. Not only have you come through the difficulties of life, but you've done it by keeping your inner child and your joy and your lovely perspective on life intact. In this case, you've done it with elegance, style, and grace. Hello. How much better? It doesn't get much better than that. Okay. So the universe is saying, well done. We acknowledge that you have gone through things and you have burdened or carried those burdens on your shoulder. So here you go. Here's some positive energy. And on top of that, we're going to give you a gift. We're going to inspire you with a great idea. So it makes sense because what you are, you manifest. So you feel good about yourself. You feel good in your own skin. You radiate the sun. And like attracts like, you absorb or you receive this amazing idea. A sword is a decision. So you're able to make a decision, or it's communication, thinking, words, the way you communicate and articulate yourself, whether you do it with charm or whether the tone is blunt and hard, whether you can kind of charm people and get people to believe in your cause. It's an invention. It's someone who's an educator or a scientist or humanitarian. So the Ace of Swords is a divine idea that really allows for precision in our lives. A sword always has this point at the end, although in this case it's a crown, and it it can really focus and narrow in on something. It can really, look at it in detail and examine it and see where the flaw is and then improve it. And that's the story of humanity, taking what we've got and saying that's not good enough, we want more, and creating. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. We are created the way the universe is, and the universe creates. So it's only natural for us to create our own children, our own masterpieces, our own desire to be seen in the spotlight. That's why everyone wants to be famous, because everyone wants the validation that I have suffered and now I've come out on top. And thank you. Please give me a round of applause because life has been tough. And you understand that. First of all, you understand that you don't need the round of applause because you've gone through that with style and grace and ease. And whether anyone says well done and gives you a medal, it doesn't matter. You suffered at the time, you got through it alone. Whether you have an Oscar on your nightstand now or not is irrelevant. Expect to feel sunny, positive, optimistic. A wonderful idea comes in that changes your point of view, that changes your way of seeing things for the better. The hangman is a criminal who's been hanged for his punishment. And the idea of hanging someone it's ridiculous. The idea of putting people in jail is that they're reformed, right? They go into jail and they come out learning how to pick locks, steal cars, which they never knew how to do before. So the whole reform thing is a little bit iffy in itself. If you're talking about capital punishment, obviously you're not teaching the guy anything because you're ending his life. So bye-bye criminal and bye-bye personal development. He may come back in another life, but as far as other people are concerned, you're not really doing this person. Let's not get too political, shall we? Okay. What the card is saying is that because you feel so good and because you are inspired, you see things differently than a criminal would. And the point of putting people in jail and punishing them is to get them to see the light and to get them to say, aha, I was a fallen angel. I don't need to steal. I don't need to rape and kill and take other people for granted. Because look, he's still playing with the string. He still hasn't got the message. He's still trying to mess around. He still hasn't realized that he's done something that he needs to atone for. And after the atonement, then he can look to improve himself. But before you own up to your own mistakes and your own faults, you can't move forward, right? I'm not an alcoholic. I just drink a bottle of gin socially. Well, if that's the attitude, then, you can't really change that. So, hangman, still messing around. You get all of this wonderful idea. It turns one of your faulty thoughts, and I'm sorry if you feel insulted by that, but we all have faulty thinking. We all have something that isn't right. Like, something in my head isn't right about relationships. Otherwise, my relationships will work. There's still something where I'm not letting the higher power in and completely control that aspect of my life. Otherwise, it will work. When you let the sun into your life and you let go of the ego and you let yourself be inspired, then the world kind of shows you how wonderful you truly are. That yes, you do make mistakes, but you can be redeemed. You can become enlightened. Any fallen angel is such. So I'm using that in the sense of we as people. The rise and fall of Jonathan Stone, whatever. There was a book called The Rise and Fall of someone. I've forgotten the name. But that's what we experience in society. We put people up on pedestals, and then they're caught in the back of a limousine with a prostitute, and then they fall, and then we see them as a I don't even know the word, which is, I think, is a nice reflection on me. What are they called? Shunned from society, like you're a pariah, that's it. You could become a pariah. So even if you become a pariah or you've made mistakes in your life, today you get a glimpse of hope. And this can be for the people who are really down in the gutter. And yeah, you can be in an emotional gutter and watch YouTube videos. I think you can. So this is your chance to really see things for what they are, to take responsibility, to turn the hangman around, to ask for help and say, universe, I've tried everything with this situation. I've tried my best. My best thinking has got me into a mess where other people were against me and da 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 da. I now see that wasn't the greatest idea. Or my perception, for instance, of a state. I always hated, let's say someone has a stupid prejudice for, I hate Europe, okay? Because Europe is old and smelly and boring and we don't want to go to Europe, okay? So if someone's got that, I mean, that's a silly thing and a silly example, but some people have silly prejudices. So, for instance, if you're like the person saying, Europe, please spare me, then today you've got a really good feeling. You get the idea that you're working on this amazing film and that there are a lot of Italian themes in it. And it might help you to go to Italy and to be inspired and to see the amazing culture in itself. And your film becomes much more authentic as a result of you changing your mind and letting go of your prejudices. You see further, you broaden your horizons, you become a more enlightened today, you become your true self again, which is an angel. And by that I mean you are unconditionally loved, you're perfect. Whatever you've done is wiped clean and forgiven as long as you own it and you say, I did these awful things and I ask to be forgiven. Yikes, this is getting too heavy. I just ask that, I mean, I'm still here on the planet. Let's say we've done something really awful and we're still on the planet for a reason. Then you've got the choice. You can either redeem yourself or go further down into the ego, into not seeing the light, not feeling good. Okay, he can sink further, become less and less enlightened, and pick locks and steal cars once he comes out of prison and makes it even worse. Other people, and you can't tell them apart, some people just experience grace in their lives, and for some reason, they get it, that there's some bigger picture here, and that if they turn their behavior around, then the structure, look at the number 4 that his legs make. When you create, and 4 is structure in numerology. So when you see things differently, your life can actually change. You can create the kind of life that you want, but it's only based on what you decided in the past. And unfortunately, when we make decisions from a happy place, we get a happy outcome. But when we make a decision from a negative place, we get a negative outcome, usually, because we manifest what we think. And most of us are confronted with a lot of negativity in our society. So the trick is to try and not let that negativity touch you, but to feel good about yourself, to let yourself be inspired by your higher power, which you know loves you unconditionally. So to hell with all those people, and you transcend it and you rise above it and you become the true you that you've always been meant to be. 19 and 1 is 20, and 12 is 32. 3 and 2 is freedom. So today you're able to create freedom from one of your faulty beliefs and faulty ideas. You're inspired to let go of that and you see things as they truly are. You see yourself as you truly are. Or if you're pretty enlightened already, you are inspired with the king or the queen of ideas, which you can use and put into practice because you have the physical strength. Taurus is, the nuclear power station of our solar system. And without it, no light, no warmth, no electric, nothing. So you're able to liberate yourself really from yourself. solitary confinement, I don't know if I mentioned this recently, but I was talking to someone about it. So I don't know if I was talking to you guys or an actual person. Solitary confinement is seen as the worst kind of punishment because try sitting alone in your apartment for a day, no TV, no radio, no books, no nothing, and just sit there by yourself all day long. You will drive yourself nuts. By the end of the day, just sitting with yourself, nightmare. That's why everyone, like, solitary confinement is seen as like the worst. I'm sorry, I'm saying like, I'm like not a valley girl, am I? It's seen as the worst form of punishment because we are naturally animals and spirits who are meant and naturally connected to something bigger. So unless in your solitary confinement you find a connection with a higher power, you're pretty much doomed to go mad because you're cut off from everything. So today, personal growth and a wonderful day. You feel great, you're inspired, so really can't go wrong today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy liberating yourself from something in your life that is not right or inappropriate. I love the gold on this. It's so beautiful. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my personal readings, don't click on the readings tab. Those are the old website. Erin has designed a new wonderful website, and it's now either the book your readings button on the front page or the shop tab. And if you click on the shop tab, you can pre-order my tarot deck, which is, I don't know when it's coming out yet. No idea. So I can't guarantee a date. But we're almost done with them. They're being created by Lo Scarabeo, which is the Italian publisher of tarot decks in Europe, pretty much, like Llewellyn is it. Well, they're actually the same company. Lo Scarabeo is the European division of Llewellyn, and it's like Llewellyn in America. Okay, so we're working on the cards, and you can pre-order them on my website if you'd like a deck of my take on the tarot. You can also order your personal readings with me on there. I use tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal readings. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like the video, then please hit subscribe and share the video online, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.